Alright, Chapter 4 of Ranked Attempt of Fire Emblem 4. So, first thing is first, we use the Leinster Knights. Always makes me sad, because I was particularly fond of them. But then we get to work with the arena. I'm having Lex buy the return ring there, because he has money with nothing else to do. He may as well pass it on to Corporal for some emergency staff funds or something. And then we immediately jump into the arena here. Now, Ozzel didn't have the cash to buy the Elite Ring, which means that he doesn't get quite as much out of this arena as would be optimal. But there wasn't much I could do with it. And I suppose I could have had to give him money so he could afford it. But Dew needs money himself, and other people also need money. So Ozzel just had to make do without. It's not that bad. With Wind, he can get to promotion level here. Then once he promotes, things become significantly easier for him. I take back most of the harsh words I said about Ozzel in the first chapters. Promoting to Pony is ridiculous. To be honest, he probably doesn't need the Elite Ring for this arena to hit 30, based on some initial estimates on what happens throughout the course of this chapter and the XP he gains. Which is just, it kind of floors my mind a little bit, and it's awesome. Then we have, Olin, who had the Elite Ring left over from last time, so I didn't need to go in and buy it again. He'll just go through and devastate the arena pretty much with iron. I think he does need the Brave Sword at one point. No, maybe he doesn't. At any rate, he's a force to be reckoned with. Okay, I should mention that, much like Chapter 3, these first two episodes will be comprised of all arena. So if you just want to get a little anxious for the action, go ahead and skip to Part 3 of Chapter 4. I may not always have a lot to say, but I probably will say at least a couple of things that are interesting. At least I hope that they might be. So Dew gets in a little bit of work. He can't make it past the Pegasus Knight just yet. He'll need to do that later. But he can get past these early bits relatively decently. He does have to rely on a couple of lucky activations of Soul. But hey, that's why he's got the skill. Arden was just shy of the cash for Elite, but now he's got it, so now we're going to go pick that up. Arden, on the other hand, is going to really struggle on this map, because generals have... We all know that they have shitty movement, but they even have shitty movement type, which means he can't cross mountains. Which means he's restricted entirely to the first half of the map. And he's not going to gain a lot of experience at all. Which will it'll make life a little rough for him. He does promote to General. The promotion gains aren't stellar, but additional durability is always good. And he does get the occasional Great Shield activation, which can't be counted on, but if it pops up, it can be useful. And, with Pursuit Hero Sword, he can really take this arena to town. Bayo also needs a little bit of cash, then he'll dip into the Elite Ring. unlike Chapter 2 Arena, where the Duke Knight cockblocked him at level 6, Beowulf can actually go through this whole arena. In fact, I think the Chapter 4 arena is one of the easier arenas. I have no statistical or concrete things to back that up. That's just my gut level feel from the amount of manipulating I had to do to get people through it, which was, I think, less than most of the other ones. Much like Ozzel, Beowulf is going to just reach promotion level. Or actually, Ozzel reached it a little early. Beowulf is pretty much right in the nick of time, which is most important because in order to cross the mountains, all horse-based types must be of the promoted knight classes. So this grants him access to the second half of the map. Awesome. The promotion does allow him access to the Silver Sword, which will pretty much become his main weapon from now on. He'll also be passing that down to his son, because his son can use it early, because that's what Justice's Hazel blood is good for. Fury is a real champ as always, muscling her way through. Only needs to rely on the Hero Lance a couple of times. Promotes, gets staff access, and that's going to be very useful. Basically guarantees that she can continue to gain experience even though she's, mostly shackled to Claude in order to try to build up the relationship, which really hinders her combat potential. But hey, staves, right? Atlas is kind of an annoying foe to fight. Partly because Bolganon is a ridiculously long animation. Partly because Great Shield is an annoying skill. And partly because, he's top of the food chain. Common theme, seeing people needing to beat the first couple of levels before they can afford elite. It would have been really neat if Duke could pass out money in like 2,000 or 3,000 increments instead of, all or nothing. But you have to make do with what you can, which means some sacrifice to the XP god is required. And then we see Critical once again being an incredibly useful skill for clearing arenas. Sylvia, oh god. She has interesting time later in the arena. Let's just put it that.